Hi guys, my name is Shakira, but you guys can call me Sharky. Welcome to my channel. So as you can see, I forgot to film an intro video because I'm fucking stupid. So you're gonna have to, I guess, stare creepily at this picture of me while I tell you what's going on. So this is a foundation routine video, or my foundation routine. This is like my third time having filmed this video, and this one didn't go right either, but I mean, it's the best one out of all of them. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or anything, leave them in the comments below, and enjoy the tutorial. Okay, so I already got my brows and my eyeshadow done. I did not film myself doing this eyeshadow look simply because it's very similar to the look that I did with the in the Shandy Cosmetics video. If you do want to see a tutorial on it though, just let me know and I will film one. So we're gonna start with primer, and I'm gonna be using the Trust Fund Beauty Give Me Good Face primer. I got this in my Ipsy bag for this month, and it's probably the best primer that I've ever used. It makes my foundation go on really evenly and smoothly and really silkily. So it's a nice primer, and I probably would buy it again. The only thing is since I'm super oily, it doesn't keep me as matte as I'd like, but it does like erase all my pores and everything. So if I did buy it again, I would buy it with something that would make sure my oils were non-existent, basically. Okay, so then I'm going to take my foundation. I've changed my foundation routine maybe 6 times in the past 2 weeks. I've also already filmed this video once, but it came out terribly, so I figured I'd film it again. So what works for me the best right now is using LA Girl Pro Conceals as foundation. It goes on really smoothly. It looks very natural, very skin-like. It's got good coverage. It's kind of medium coverage, so some of the texture parts of my skin still show through, but it's not like really obvious or awful. And it's cheap. These are only $2.99 a piece, so I can really easily stock up on these if I need to. So I'm going to be using 2 colors. I'm going to be using Espresso and Dark Cocoa. Espresso is the lighter one right here. And I put Espresso in the center of my face. So here, around my nose and on my cheeks and chin. It's basically like doing... Never mind. I don't know what I was about to say. Ignore that. I like to squeeze out a pretty generous amount. And then on the perimeters of my face, I'll be using Dark Cocoa. These aren't exactly my shade, but they're the closest as I could get right now. And I'm probably also going to be changing up my foundation pretty soon. I really want to get the Anastasia Beverly Hills Stick Foundation. So I'm probably going to do that. And then I'm going to take my Real Technique sponge. Don't mind that it's dirty. I've actually been using this a lot more than I used to use it. I don't know why. I don't dislike it as much as I used to. Okay, now that I've completely beat my face enough that I should probably be bruised underneath this, I'm going to move on to highlighting. And I'm also going to be using LA Girl for that. So this is the shade Toffee. Oh, good. Yes, God. Don't mind me. I've just been quoting drag queens to an extreme amount. It's probably unhealthy, but and when I do this, when I put on the highlighter underneath my eyes, I don't put it directly under my eye because I'm going to blend up anyway. So there's kind of not really a point in putting so much product directly under there because it can cause a lot of creasing. And then I'm going to layer on top of that the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. This is in the shade Cafe. And I do this because the LA Girl is kind of thick and it also dries down kind of quickly. And I'm a very slow person. I like to mosey my way through things. So sometimes it can be kind of hard to blend out. So I put the Maybelline on top of it to make it easier to blend. And they're pretty close to the same shade. Also, the Maybelline is thin enough where it doesn't add too much extra coverage. I also want to get a full coverage concealer one day. I'm kind of poor right now, so I work with what I got. So what I'm doing now is taking the base of the Real Technique sponge and I'm going around the highlight just to make sure it like doesn't have super harsh transition between the foundation and the concealer. And I always blend out underneath my eyes last because it means less time for it to crease. So normally what I would do is take my Sacha Buttercup and go in with the sponge and go on the places where I highlighted and just press that in. And I do that because it makes the foundation last longer because it gets rid of the oils and whatnot. Basically I bake and I only do it when I'm going to be wearing the makeup for a long time. But since I'm not going to be wearing it for that long today, I'm just going to take this Real Techniques contour brush. And I'm still gonna use my Sacha Buttercup, but I'm just gonna go and just kind of press it in to the places that I highlighted. So if you are going out for a kind of long time and you want it to last a little bit longer, and if you want it to be more matte, then you would use a triangle sponge, like a little wedge sponge, or you could use your Real Technique sponge or your beauty blender, whatever kind of sponge you want. Just make sure it's damp, because if it's not damp then your face ends up looking really dry. Okay, so I'm an idiot and I stopped checking to see if the camera was on because it stops recording sometimes. It stopped recording. So you missed everything after me putting powder on my face. Luckily for you, I remember what I did. So after I went in with the Sacha Buttercup, I took this Morphe brush, this big fluffy brush. You can use any big powder brush. And I just went over the places where I put the Sacha Buttercup to just make sure there wasn't any excess on my face. And then I went in with my, this is the Loreal Infallible Pro Matte Press Powder in the shade Cocoa. And I took this little beauty poof thing and I just went in on the rest of my face where it wasn't highlighted, and I just pressed it in to make sure I set the rest of my face. And then I took my LA Girl HD matte press powder, and this is in the shade Dark Cocoa, and that's what I used to contour. I used this Real Techniques buffing brush, and I just went here, around my forehead, and then under my jaw, And then lastly, I went in with the e.l.f. blush palette, and I used this peach shade right here in the corner, and I put that on my cheeks. So if you have any questions and it feels like I skipped over anything, I do apologize. I did not realize that my camera stopped filming. So if you do have any questions, please leave them in the comment section, or if you just want me to refilm this whole thing, I will do that if you don't feel like this was as in-depth as it should have been. So I do apologize for that. This is my second time filming this. If you haven't been able to tell, I'm just not in a great mood right now. I'm in this huge slump, and I'm basically forcing myself to film so I can get content out for my followers, because I know there are people who actually like watching my channel. So with that being said, I know I got too real for a second. If there's anything you have questions about, please let me know. I am willing to refilm. I'm willing to answer any questions. You just have to tell me. Don't feel bad. Don't be like, oh, I don't want to bother her. Fucking tell me. Okay. So since I'm done with my blush and my contour and all that stuff, I'm going to go in with my first layer of setting spray. I do maybe 2 or 3 layers if I'm going out for an extended period of time. Tonight I'm not, but for the sake of the video I'm going to. So I'm going to be using this NYX matte finish spray. And this is just to, because you know you use a lot of powder products on your face, this is just to bring some moisture back so you don't look dry and crusty AF. So just see, now you're more radiant. As much as I like this NYX spray, it doesn't keep me matte. Maybe I just have like terrible, horrible problem skin, but nothing really keeps me matte. The Boscia white charcoal stuff that Jackie Aina uses, it works a little bit, but mostly I just have to go in with blotting papers and go over with powder to keep myself matte throughout the night. So if you have any tips for that, hit a girl up, because I need it bad. Alright, next thing, what I'm going to do now is highlight. So my favorite highlighter to use is the Wet n Wild To Reflect Shimmer palette. This is in the shade Sand-Gria Castles, and it's this really pretty like bronzy gold type deal, and it looks the best on my skin tone. And then sometimes I actually do highlight with eyeshadows. So say for instance with this look, if I was going for like a more bold, abnormal eyeshadow or highlighter look, I would go in with the same color I used in my inner corner, which is this kind of purpley pink. I'm not afraid to use color when it comes to highlighter. I love green highlight actually. I think it looks gorgeous. It makes me look like a witch. That didn't make sense. It makes me look like a witch. Purple highlight's also really pretty. But for this video, I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild palette. So I like to use my finger.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You'll never have the sacred stone.
It's not one of those highlighters that has like a super bold, bright, punch you in the face type deal. It's just a very subtle glow, which is why I like it. So what I do is I take the color on my middle finger and I pat it in first, and then I go with my ring finger and kind of rub it to make sure it like blends well with the rest of the makeup. I don't know what that is, but it got caught on something. That must have been like leftover setting spray. It's fine, I don't care. See, very subtle, very pretty. Okay, so since I've done with that, oh boy. So since I'm done with that, I'm just gonna go finish my lower lash line and put on some lipstick, and I'll be back to finish the video. Alright, so here's the completed look. I usually wait to do my bottom lash line after I finish the rest of my face, simply because the times that I've done it before my foundation, I actually ended up blending it away when I was doing the highlight and everything. So now I make sure I do it afterwards. but it's completely up to you. It's personal preference. Most people, or some people, actually do their foundation first and then do their eyeshadow. But yeah, I also have the lipstick. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm really sorry that the whole camera situation happened. I need to be more diligent about making sure that it's still filming. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to comment underneath the video. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please give it a like. If you enjoy me and find me helpful, please subscribe to my channel. Other than that, hopefully I'll see you around, and if I don't, well, who needs you? Am I right? No? Okay. Bye guys.